What addiction is seen as completely normal by society? Endless scrolling. But I can't stop. So many more comments to read. Here in the UK, our drinking culture seems to have no issue with people always being in the pub or people needing a pint at work at lunchtime to get through the time. Only people who are homeless and your stereotypical junkie type seem to be ever labeled as alcoholics. Weirdly as well, some seem to celebrate alcoholism and show off how much they drink. Alcohol addiction sneaks up on you too. I'm 4 weeks dry and feeling so much happier. Sugar. I've gone from drinking a 750 milliliter bottle of whiskey per day, smoking like a chimney, roughly a pack per day, to now 3 years completely sober. I still can't curb my sugar addiction. Shopping. Online shopping, especially. I deliver for USPS and there are several houses on my route that get new clothes nearly every day. Coffee, caffeine, smartphones in general, I'd say. So many, myself included, are unable to put their phones away completely during social settings. The phone follows you everywhere now. I remember the days when I would read the ingredients on the nearest shampoo bottle while taking a shit because there was nothing else to do. Edit. I forgot to add the procrastination it causes. As we speak, I've been putting off a jog for at least 2 hours by browsing Reddit instead. Lunchtime at my workplace is boring as fuck. Everyone just staring down at their phones like some zombies. And the worst part is when they watch some stupid Instagram or TikTok videos with the volume on. You can no longer have a decent conversation with people. Hustle culture and neglecting your sleep and social life in order to hustle more. Sufficient amounts of quality sleep are one of the most important things you can do to live a long and healthy life, as important as diet and exercise. And you need a social life, be in with friends, or playing games online etc. in order to keep your mental health good. This is more of an American thing. This kind of behavior is pretty frowned upon in Europe. Social media. Everyone is always on social media. Even I'm personally an addict. I'm constantly taking pictures for my Instagram, posting on my Snapchat, or scrolling through TikTok, an endless cycle between the three apps. Don't forget Reddit. Workaholism. Fuck that. There are more pleasurable things to be addicted to, and many take so much pride in being workaholics. It's sad. Consumerism. It's such a weird thing, how much this takes center stage for people at some point. I feel like, once people earned money for some years, all they talk about is what they bought, how much it cost, and how much they think I thought it cost, just to tell me that they paid 20% less than what I expected. It's like the default way to occupy them once they are no longer at work, buying stuff, thinking about what stuff to buy, and talking about what they bought. Energy drinks. 100%. The amount of students I've taught who spend all their pocket money at the local corner shops, even though in UK it's illegal to sell them to under 16s, on energy drinks, and stash them in bags for school, even without parents' knowledge or permission. It's an addiction. Surprise no one has said this, but lottery tickets. I have a friend who wastes at least a third of his income on scratch-offs, and just gambling in general. I watched him clean off a scratcher for $100, just to go spend it all on more scratchers, that only ended up winning $10. Then complained about being broke, and asked me for money lol. Porn. Very true. Although it's not as much accepted as things like coffee and sugar, watching porn is seen as a common thing, especially among young people. Sadly, many forget the downsides of porn, like unrealistic fantasies, sexualizing stuff that shouldn't be, and plenty of other bad effects that I noticed when I fell for this trap, and even more once I fully stopped doing that. Edit. By unrealistic fantasies, I mean insane sexual expectations / kinks. Water. Do not let it get a hold of you. You will resent its absence. Water is life. In America, living to work 60+ hour work weeks and never taking vacation out of a weird loyalty to a company that will lay you off without hesitation if the bottom line is at risk. Always hated the idea that you are supposed to give your workplace a 2 weeks notice, and yet they can drop you on the spot for pretty much any reason they want. And if they really want to, they will find a reason. Drinking and smoking are the obvious ones, but sugar is a hidden demon. I've been weaning myself off it for the last 2 months. My quality of life is night and day in comparison. A drinking addiction and smoking are definitely looked down on. I was gonna say cocaine, but okay. not crack, but cocaine is hugely accepted within pro sports, celebrities, rich people, so on and so forth. It's definitely frowned upon for the most part, but it's also not meth or crack. You'd be surprised at the amount of people who do it. People you'd never think of. It's a big secret a lot of the time, but it's extremely popular. Cocaine is everywhere. Pretty sure traces of cocaine were found in the Houses or Parliament here in the UK. All chill. Yep. I had a brush with alcoholism and stepped it back. Realizing how much my friends drink was very eye-opening. I'm a Midwesterner and a lot of our hangouts and events are alcohol focused. Especially in winter. It's a huge bummer. I have some friends who are sober and said they basically lost their friend network because they can't just go to bars on the weekend all the time. A lot of my friends also go out and get drunk on weekdays. I'm in my 30s. People seeking attention in social media. Just to be safe, no upvote for you. 3. Overeating. Food addiction is real as fuck, and it's a completely unrecognized problem. Attention, some can't see the truth, that they are out there trying to compete against one another, and can't understand why people don't like them, so they try harder. It's an endless loop, because they will never be happy with what they have already. Life. Excessive eating. It's not being body positive, it is being point blank unhealthy. People need to stop trying to normalize obesity. McDonald's bro. I will still never forget my high school job in the mall. I was one of those super picky eaters and would only get McDonald's while working. Finally I realized that I was burning too much cash and started bringing lunch to work. After about a week I felt like utter garbage. Got myself some nuggets and felt fantastic. Fuck McDonald's. Anger addiction. Certainly being outraged about social problems can result in effective social action. Being outraged feels more powerful and active than sadness or empathy. Try expressing thoughts and prayers, and take a look at the angry responses from people who associate anger with empowerment. Walking around in a constant state of outrage, even if it's justified about a certain thing, may eventually cause people to redirect their anger toward every minor irritant in their lives, because it has the illusion of control and power. Anger can also escalate into destructive behavior that is not effective in addressing whatever problem needs solving. Being angry all the time can't be good for mental, physical, or emotional health, or for the people who have to encounter the angry person. Stealing high on days. R/suspiciously specific. Marijuana. Most my friends smoke. A few are very addicted, and not themselves, if they can't get their smoking in. They go through withdrawals. Maybe it's because of how potent the stuff is nowadays. Asking the same questions every week on AskReddit. Religion. A girl I know can't have a conversation without quoting the Bible or talking about Jesus like he is an old friend of hers. I'm not religious, so I find it really annoying, but everyone else seems fine with it. Life in general. I'd do just about anything to keep on living. Clearly addicted. You need help. Please find the will to consume less life, or it will consume you. Gambling. One of the worst addictions emo. Bragging about how little sleep you got. Wine addiction, and then they say I'm not an alcoholic. Lady, you drink a bottle a day. I'm pretty sure you are, because wine is still an alcoholic drink. TikTok. The algorithm is insanely good at keeping people on it for long periods of time. Food. Eating to excess has become normalized by a large percentage of people. Righteous indignation. So much of our world has become addicted to the endorphin rush they get when they work up a fit of righteous indignation. They get to point their finger at that bad person and proclaim their own victimhood. It is not only acceptable, but even lauded. It happens on the small individual scale, and on the large, even global scale. This addiction has become the single defining characteristic of modern political discourse. This addiction has torn apart families, ruined friendships, and if it continues unabated, will destroy democracy. Working long hours and pretending it's fine